Shalom. I just want to start off by saying, Kwahalayim, La Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Rakapadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect and the Akim pushing this truth throughout the four corners of the earth. My name is Asha Allah. I'm on the other side of GMS Des Moines. And I'm just making this video because I want to talk a little bit about pride. And I want to pull out some scripture for it. So let's jump into it. This is Sirach 10 and verse 12. The beginning of pride is when one departeth from the Most High, and his heart is turned away from his Maker. So the beginning of pride is when, you depart away from the Most High. Like you start thinking, you don't need the Most High. Like you drop the Most High, and then you put your own life in your own hands, and you start thinking and start doing things according to what you want to do. And his heart, your mind, is turned away from the Most High. So you grasp a hold that Thelema spirit, that do as I will, that YOLO spirit, man, and that's just wicked as hell, because you ain't create yourself. You was put on this earth for a reason. We're all in subjection to the Most High. Verse 13. For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. And therefore the Lord Yahweh brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. So pride is the beginning of sin. Thinking that you don't need the Most High, thinking that you can put your own life into your own hands. You can do as I will. You finna make the most of your life. You finna live your best life. Like that's the beginning of sin. And whoever that even thinks like that, that feels like that, it pours out a disgusting thing to the Most High. Think of it like this, just in a worldly sense. You got like a little 4 or 5 year old. You do everything for him. You clothe him, feed him. Pay the bills. You make sure he's good every day. Whenever he needs it, you make sure he's good. And then that 4-year-old bucks up, oh, I don't need you. I do everything for myself, or I put food on the table. I put clothes on my back. I do things for myself. Like I never needed you, and da 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 da. Like he just, rah. He's just rambling, man. And you would look at him like what the fuck? Like I do this shit. I put the food on the table. I put clothes on your back. I make sure you good. And furthermore, that's what the Lord thinks upon us. I do these things for y'all. I ordained y'all to have what y'all have right now. So to think that, you could go out here and do it by yourself, and to think that you finna do this, you finna depart from the Most High and live your best life, or you finna make the most of your life and turn away from the Most High, that's a disgusting thing. And the end game for it is going to be them strange calamities, and you're going to be overthrown utterly, like that. And that's the end game for it. So I'm gonna jump to 1 Samuel. Let's see. I'm gonna jump to 1 Samuel 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 6. The Lord Yahweh killeth, and he maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave, and bringeth up. The Lord Yahweh maketh poor, and maketh rich. He bringeth low, and lifteth up. Can you do any of these things, man? The Lord just says the Lord does all of these things. Can you bring one up from the grave? Can you make yourself poor and then make yourself rich, or make yourself poor or make yourself rich from poor, or poor to rich? Can you bring yourself low, and then, can you, being low, bring yourself high, or being high, bring yourself low? You can't. We're all in subjection to the Most High. You didn't make yourself. You didn't form yourself from the dust. Like you didn't do none of that, man. So why is there a need to have, like, why do you feel the need to have pride? I skipped a verse. Slovakia. We're gonna jump down to Sirach 10 and 18. For pride was not made for men. Point blank, period, man. Only the Most High can have pride, man. Because like I said, he killeth, maketh alive, bringeth low to the grave, and bringeth up. Maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. You know, he created everything. The air, the stars, the heavens, the moon, the sun, and everything. So he's the only one that deserves to have pride. He's the only one that can look down and be like, yeah, I did all this. You ain't did shit. And I got an example. I got an example in Job. Let's see. Okay, yeah. I got an example in Job. Now this is chapter 1. And now Job was a perfect man. You know, he was an upright man and he feared the Most High. You know, so according to the Most High, like he was a perfect man to him. You know, and he feared the Most High. But we gonna get this verse right here. Job 1 and 21. Job 1 and 20. Then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshipped and said, naked came I out my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord Yahweh gave, and the Lord Yahweh hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord Yahweh. So he acknowledged that the Lord Yahweh gave, and the Lord Yahweh has taken away. You know, because you know in this chapter, you know, Job had abundance, man. He had cattle, he had children, he had land, like he had all that. And just as it was given, it was taken away from him. So, and this was a perfect upright man. So what more you? You know, you and your little nice fancy whip, the nice rags on your back, like what more? Like the Lord gave that to you, so just as he's giving it to you, he can take it away from you. And I had another scripture on pride. You know, we can go back to Genesis. You know, in the beginning. Let's see. Okay, Genesis 4 and 3. And in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord Yahweh had respect unto Abel and to his offering, but unto Cain and his offering he had no respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fallen. So both of these men, these brothers, they knew what they were supposed to bring for an offering. You know, and Abel, he brought the firstlings of his flock and the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto his offering. But if Cain, he brought the fruit of the ground. He said, fuck what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to bring whatever I want. I'm going to bring this fruit. I'm going to bring these apples, strawberries, tomatoes, you know, I got a job I'm supposed to do, but I'm going to do whatever I want. And the Lord had no respect on the Cain's offering, man. Like that's being prideful as hell. Like, you know what you got to do, but you're going to say, fuck that and do whatever you want to do. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance was fallen. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? You know, verse 7, if thou doest well, shall thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. So the Lord was like, you know, if you know what you're supposed to do. So, you know, if you do well, you know, you're going to be accepted. You know, but if you don't, you know, sin's waiting for you. And, you know, pride is the beginning of sin. So let's go to Proverbs. Let's see. Let's go to Proverbs 16 and verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall. So, before this, pride is going to go before destruction. And I got an example of that. And a haughty and exalted spirit, so haughty means an exalted spirit before a fall. And we're going to go to First Samuel 17 and 42. So, you puffing yourself up like, you the shit, that's only gonna lead to your downfall, man. They got a saying in the world, the more confident you are, the more the confidence you have, the better person you'll be. And shit, it just says that haughty spirit before a fall. So the more you puffing yourself up and the more you exalt yourself, the harder you gonna fall. But this is 1 Samuel 17 and verse 42. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth and ruddy and of a fair countenance. So when this Philistine saw David, he belittled him. Like whose man's is this, man? Like, you brought this young boy to me. For verse 43, and the Philistine said unto David, am I a dog that thou comest to me with staves? And the Philistine cursed David by his gods. So the Philistine was like, you coming to me with these sticks? Like, am I a dog? Like, is you finna beat me with these sticks? And furthermore, the Philistine cursed David. So we're gonna jump to verse 49. And David put his hand in his bag and took thence a stone and slang it and smote the Philistine in his forehead, that the stone sunk into his forehead, and he fell upon his face to the earth. So David prevailed over the Philistine with the sling and with the stone, and smote the Philistine and slew him. But there was no sword in the hand of David. So that's a great example of pride goeth before destruction. This Philistine belittled David, was cursing him out. Like he thought little or nothing of David. And what was the end game for him? He got a stone sunk into his forehead and fell to the face of the earth and got smitten, got slayed. So we're going to go to, let's see. From there, we're going to go to Proverbs. Back to Proverbs, and we're going to go to, let's see. Let's see. Proverbs 18 and 12. Before destruction, the heart of a man is haughty, and before honor is humility. So, just that example that I brought out, before destruction, the mind of a man is haughty. So this Philistine was exalting himself, thinking that he couldn't be touched. And, David came on the scene and he started belittling David. And what was the end game of that? David slew his ass. And before honor is humility, and in a sense, when that Philistine was belittling David, like, in a sense, like, David was like being humiliated in front of everybody, but humility came and then honor came. David was honored after he slew that Philistine. Let's see, what else did I have? Let's go back to Proverbs. We're just gonna flip a page. Proverbs 16 and 5. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord. Though hand joined in hand, he should not be unpunished. So everyone that has that spirit that is has that Thelema spirit that you can do as I will. Everyone that has that YOLO spirit that you feel like it's your life, you can take it into your own hands. Man, that's an abomination. Like I said, that's a disgusting and hateful thing before the Lord. And you will not go unpunished for it. Man, especially you LGBTQTRSYZ ass niggas, man. Like, y'all niggas is gonna get it. Because y'all disrupting the natural order of things, man. Man was not made to lay with man. Woman was not made to lay with women. You know, and it says that in Leviticus 18, man should not lie with man as he do with womankind. You know, so y'all got something coming to y'all, and you know it's not good. Like y'all gonna get fucked up. Y'all gonna get punished. So from there we can go to Sirach 10 and 7. I just got a few more precepts and then I'll close out. Sirach 10 and 7. Pride is hateful before the Most High and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity. So, you know, pride is hateful before the Most High and man. You know, men of the Lord or men with common sense would just know, okay, seeing this man, like seeing men with men and women with women, like, you know, like that shit is hateful. Like for you to even like think that shit was, that for you to even think that shit is okay, and for you to even think that, you know, you can just do that, like, you know, for you to even have the pride and the courage to even think that way, like that shit is hateful, you know. And by both does one commit iniquity. So by that, you know, you commit sin upon sin. And so I'm gonna just touch down on Sirach 10 and 13 again. For pride, it is the beginning of sin. And what's the wages of sin? I'm gonna bring that out. Romans 6 and 13. 6 and 23, Salaki. For the wages of sin is death. So that's what y'all got coming to y'all, being of that prideful spirit. Okay, I just want to say Kwahalayim, like Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakadash. You know, give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect and the Akim pushing this truth throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom.